Semiconductors, they're kind of the invisible heroes, right? They power literally everything, from the phone in your pocket to critical defense systems. And right now, India is making this huge, calculated play to become a global force in making them. So let's dive into how they're planning to build the next tech superpower, one tiny silicon chip at a time. And look, this isn't just some corporate business plan. Nope. This is a statement of national intent. And it's coming straight from the top. This quote really frames just how important this mission is for India's future, for its economic security and its independence on the world stage. It's a clear signal that India is, well, all in. So just how big is this ambition? Well, take a look at this. We're talking about a market that was already worth around $38 billion in 2023, but it's projected to just skyrocket to over $100 billion by 2030. Now, that's not just growth, that is an explosion. And that's the economic engine that's driving this entire strategy. An ambition like that needs some serious cash behind it. The Indian government is absolutely putting its money where its mouth is. They've kicked things off with 76,000 crore rupees, that's about 10 billion US dollars, through the India Semiconductor Mission. This is basically the seed money to get the ball rolling, to reduce the risk for private companies, and to attract the biggest names in the game. All right, so you've got the vision, you've got the cash. Now what? How do you actually build a semiconductor powerhouse from pretty much scratch? Well, you start with the foundation, the physical infrastructure. It's time to build the chip ecosystem. And this isn't all just happening in one little tech corner of the country. As you can see here, this is a massive nationwide effort. We're seeing these huge multi-billion-dollar projects pop up everywhere, from Dholera in Gujarat clean across the country to Morgan in Assam. And spreading it out like this is a really smart strategic move to build a manufacturing base that's both strong and resilient. Okay, so making a chip is incredibly complex, but we can break it down into three main stages. First, you've got design, which is like drawing up the blueprint for a skyscraper. Then comes fabrication, or fab. That's the actual manufacturing. And finally, you have OSAT, which is where the chip gets assembled, tested, and packaged up. Now here's the crucial part. India is strategically going after every single piece of this chain. And this table right here proves it. You can see these huge global partnerships targeting each one of those stages. You've got a giant like Tata teaming up with Taiwan's PSMC for a massive fabrication plant. Then you have an American powerhouse like Micron focusing on that final assembly and testing stage. It's a perfect example of how global expertise and money are flowing in to build up India's own capabilities across the board. So what does this all add up to? What's the big picture here? Well, it's a fundamental shift, really. It's about India moving from its long-held role as a major consumer of technology to becoming a major creator of the foundational tech that's going to power the world. But you can build all the shiny, state-of-the-art factories you want. They're really just empty boxes without brilliant people to run them. And this brings us to the second, and you could argue, the most important part of this whole plan: forging the human capital. Just let this number sink in for a second. 1 million. That is the estimated number of additional skilled workers. We're talking engineers, designers, technicians, that this new industry will need by 2030. It's a staggering challenge for sure, but wow, what an incredible opportunity for India's talent. So, the million-dollar, or rather million-person question is, where do you find them? Well, it starts right here, in world-class academic institutions like BITS Pilani. These are the training grounds. They are literally building a direct pipeline from the classroom to the clean room, churning out the super specialized talent that these new factories are crying out for. And we're not talking about just any old engineering degrees here. No way. These are incredibly specific programs, tailor-made to produce graduates who are ready to step right into these really high-demand jobs, like designing a whole system on a single chip, or engineering systems for the Internet of Things. These are the exact jobs this new ecosystem needs to fill. And this isn't just some plan for the future, it's already happening. Government-backed training programs have already reached over 60,000 students across the country. That's a serious head start in preparing a new generation of engineers with the skills they're going to need. It just shows the commitment to building this talent pipeline at a massive scale. So India's building the factories, it's training the people, but to what end? What's the ultimate goal here? Well, this is where the strategy gets really forward-looking. It's about building the foundation for the next huge leap in technology, something called agentic AI. So, what in the world is agentic AI? Well, think of it this way. The AI we're used to mostly assists us. It answers questions. Agentic AI acts for us. We're talking about autonomous systems that can actually make decisions and carry out tasks all on their own. And a lot of experts believe this is going to be the game changing tech of 2026 and beyond. Now, to power this new kind of AI, the old way of thinking just won't cut it. Before, it was all about just buying more and more raw processing power, more GPUs. But the new focus is so much smarter. It's about building balanced, complete systems, optimizing everything from data pipelines and storage to networking and even energy efficiency. And this quote from an industry leader at Hitachi Vantara just nails it. The goal isn't just to have the biggest, most powerful AI model. The real winners will be the ones who figure out how to weave AI into their operations in a smart, disciplined, and valuable way. That's the end game. Okay, let's start to bring all these different threads together. We've seen how India is weaving together this incredible tapestry of national policy, industrial development, and education, all with the goal of building a self-reliant tech future. And when you boil it all down, it really comes back to this: a single graduate. This one person represents the culmination of that entire massive pipeline, a highly skilled professional ready to step into a cutting-edge job in a brand new domestic industry that's backed by a clear national vision. This is the human foundation for India's tech dream.
So the blueprint for success seems pretty clear, doesn't it? It's a powerful three-pronged attack. You've got proactive government policy setting the vision. You have industry building the ecosystem, and you have a deep investment in education creating the talent. All three of those gears have to turn together in perfect sync.
Which brings us to our final big question. By so tightly weaving together these three critical threads, policy, industry, and education, are we watching, in real time, India building the blueprint for the world's next great tech powerhouse? Based on everything we've seen, it is a very powerful thought to consider.